All right, so Heinz wanted to see the ATR trailing stop. And again, these are indicators from lizard indicators. Okay, there's the TriggerLines indicator. There we go. Okay, just need to turn the triangles on. All right, this is what Heinz is talking about there. Yeah, so I think all of lizard indicators, kind of stop loss trailing type of indicators, right? This style of indicator here. So there's a couple of different indicators that basically act like a stop loss trailing type of indicator, and they all produce some kind of marker like a triangle or an arrow or something like that, I believe. So yeah, so let's see here. You want to orders filled on a triangle. All right, so I guess what we could do is place an entry order on the indicator and just wait for that entry order to get hit and filled. All right, so as far as everything being done in BlackBird, that's what we could do. Let's see. All right, Heinz has given me some indicator settings. All right, so the ATR period is 14, and the multiplier, oh, it's only 1.2. Okay. All right, that makes a huge difference. All right, yeah, so if you wanted to set something up automatically so that, right, you get fills right there, right, we could place an entry order. So in this case, these would be stop entry orders here. So when price is above the indicator, right, we set a sell stop entry, and have it follow the indicator. And so that way when price comes down, all right, it'll fill that order and go short. I'm guessing that's what you want there, Heinz. That's what you're looking for. All right, so Heinz says long only above green. So Heinz, you're starting to get into a bloodhound signals here, bloodhound system. Yeah, so you want to go long above the green trigger lines, short only below the red trigger lines. Okay, yeah, let's see here. So yeah, if the market is above the trigger lines, only take longs. All right, that makes sense. Actually, yeah, I think we can do that in BlackBird without Bloodhound. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, let's see what we have to work with. All right, so I cleared everything out here. So no Bloodhound signals. So this is going to be a stop entry. Again, goal here, guys, what I think Heinz is trying to get at is, right, we want a long stop entry order, right? So if the market is basically above the trigger lines indicator, then when the ATR trailing stop, yeah, I'm just kind of wondering if BlackBird actually can do this, because we only want to place a long stop entry when we see the red ATR trailing lines, right? When we see the red lines here, like so. And so that is where our entry order would get filled. Well, I guess let's build this out and see what happens. So again, I'm starting with a stop entry order. Okay, so the placement is going to be on the ATR trailing stop indicator line there. So we need to set mode to indicator value, and we need to go find the indicator now. So let's see, lizard indicators. Let's open that up. And we're using the ATR trailing stop. Select that. And remember to change our settings here. So we're using a 1.2 multiplier. And let's see, where is the period? There you go. Range period 14. There. All right. And so we're going to use the stop dot plot here for long and short trades. Yeah, so I'm just kind of thinking to myself here, we don't want a stop entry order to be placed on the blue lines, right? Because that would be below the market. So that's an invalid location for a stop entry to go long, right? The blue lines, to go long, the blue lines is an invalid price location for a stop entry. Well, oh, okay. Yeah, so we should be able to use the place after, to control when our entry order is placed. Yeah, okay. So we have the our stop entry order, set up to be placed on the ATR trailing stop. We will also need the entry order to basically trail the ATR trailing stop indicator. So let's set up that trailing rule there. Yeah, so simply we don't need any trigger conditions here. We just want to set up the entry order to just basically follow the indicator. So we're going to move to an indicator value, and then in here we're going to go and set up that ATR trailing indicator. All right, there we go. And 1.2 for the multiplier, and the period is going to be 14, and the stop dot plot is already selected for us. There we go. And we do need the repeat to be set to indefinitely. There. All right, so we have the stop entry order set up to follow our indicator, and now we just need to make sure that only long entry orders are placed when the market. So we actually have two conditions, right? The close of the bar needs to be above the trigger lines, and at the same time, the close of the bar needs to be below the ATR trailing indicator as well. So we're going to go back into the entry order here, go back to the options tab, and we're going to use the place after to set up those two requirements there. So in the place after, we're going to use the advanced tab, and we need, let's see, we need all of these conditions to be true, both of these conditions. Remember, we have two conditions. We're comparing the close of the bar to the trigger lines and to the ATR trailing indicator. So we need price versus indicator. And we actually need two of those. So we're going to put two of those on here. There we go. Let's open this up. All right. So I guess the first one, we'll compare the close of the bar to the trigger lines. All right. There's the trigger lines. And yeah, I guess we just want to make sure it's above the trigger plot. There's a trigger and the trigger average, as we can see there. So I guess we'll just use the trigger. Call that good. And so we want the close of the bar. So we want A to be above B for along. Yeah, so we have A equals or above. We should probably just set that to A above B. And then maybe A below B. All right, so there's the close of the bar compared to the trigger lines. Well, that's condition number 1. And condition number 2 is we want the close of the bar to also be below the ATR trailing lines. Yeah, the ATR trailing lines. So input B, that will be lizard indicators and the ATR trailing stop indicator line. And again, adjust our multiplier and adjust the period to match what's on the chart. And we'll just use the stop dot plot. There. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Let me see if Heinz wants to use a profit target or stop loss on this. All right. I don't see any suggestions for a profit target or a stop. So we'll just leave it at that, and let's give this a test spin here. So, all right, where are we at? So the close of the bar is above the trigger lines. Yeah, let's just enable this, see what happens. Well, this is not set up as an auto trader. Yeah, so just to be clear, guys, right? There's no trade signals set up here. So this is not set up to be an auto trader. Yeah, so you have to manually decide, yeah, when to go long and when to go short. So let's move the market up here. All right, we're just gonna have to be patient here, and wait for our market data here to kind of get above the trigger lines. All right, so obviously, this appears to be a discretionary type of trading system here that Heinz has got. So I guess once you've determined that price seems to be trending above the trigger lines, then at some point you can hit the go long button, and let's see, neutralize this. Yeah, a buy stop or buy stop limit can't be placed below the market. Let's see. Yeah, so basically what that message was saying is BlackBird's wanting to place a buy stop, on the ATRTrailingStop indicator, right? So, something else that's probably necessary. Something else that's probably necessary for this is to change the calculate mode. And let's see, yeah, let's put the calculate on price change. There we go. Calculate on price change. There we go. All right. Yeah, so now we can see, right, we have the indicators plotting on the bar that's building there. So that's probably good to have. And then also, let's go into BlackBird as well. And we're going to do the same for BlackBird. So let's... All right, this is interesting. NinjaTrader says that this BlackBird is not enabled. All right. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Well, yeah, that was really bizarre. Well, in any case, so let's change the calculate for BlackBird as well to on price change. And now let's enable it and get this started again. Okay, so I need to, yeah, let me just do this again. So in theory, I should be able to hit the go long button, but I'm getting this error, saying that it's trying to place a buy stop entry order, below the market. So I must have set something up backwards here in the place after. So we're going to go into the place after. And so for the trigger lines, right, we want the close of the bar to be above the indicator, right? So for a long trade, we want A above B. Yeah, that's correct. Now, for the other price versus indicator, for the other condition, I should say, we want the bar to be below the ATRTrailingStop indicator. And so, yeah, I don't think I changed these here. So we want, there we go. There's what I did. I did not change the long mode or short mode when comparing price to the ATRTrailingStop indicator. So let's switch these around. There we go. All right, I think that should fix it. And let's hit go long again. And perfect. So this is what we want to see. So if you look here, it says long position pending, right? So, right, the ATR trailing stop indicator is below the market. So it shouldn't be placing a long order yet. And if we open up, let's open up the order monitor window here. And we could double check this if we want. So we can see our entry order is pending, right? So in other words, it's waiting for the ATR trailing stop indicator to flip directions. And then that buy stop order can then be placed right above the market. So let's do this. Let's move the market down and we'll get the indicator to flip for us. Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that. So if you noticed, as soon as the market hit the ATR trailing stop indicator, right, it placed the order, right, and price was literally like a fraction below the indicator. So what we need to do, and while we're doing that, let me move the market up here. Yeah. So I think what we're going to need to do is go into our place after conditions again, and just by kind of visually looking at the chart here and comparing, right, the close, actually, yeah, if I'm looking at the red lines here, looking at the red trailing stop lines here, yeah, when price closes below the indicator, when a bar actually closes below the blue line here. Yeah, here's a good example here. So hopefully you can see the blue line here, and when this bar closes, it's actually several ticks below the blue line. It looks like it's at least 4, maybe 5 ticks below the blue line. So what I need to do is, I need to make sure that the close of the bar is, I guess, at least 5 ticks below the ATRTrailingStop indicator. So let's see here. So I'm going to add an offset to the indicator. Yeah, so I think if I just put 6 ticks, negative 6 ticks, if I add negative 6 ticks to the indicator, right, that'll take the blue line and create a 6-tick offset. So we want basically, so like if something like this happens here, where, you know, this bar, where we get a bar, you know, that closes way below the blue line, well, once this bar closes, then, right, the indicator is going to flip, and so the distance from the red line down to where the market will be will definitely be 6 ticks or more. So I think 6 ticks should do it. But, you know, depending on how you have your Renka bars set up, you know, and also depending on, you know, how you have the ATRTrailingStop indicator set up, you know, you will have to change this offset distance. Just keep that in mind. You will need to change this offset distance to make sure that there's enough clearance between, right, between where the market will be versus the red line of the indicator there. You know, basically, you don't want the order to be submitted when this kind of situation happens, where your bar and and price is kind of taken off there, but you don't want the bar, you know, you don't want an order to be submitted when the bar, you know, goes below the blue line, right? You want this distance to be large enough so that the stop order is placed when the red line shows up. So, all right, let's click OK and let's give this another go. So let's go long. There we go. So we have a long pending position here. And so let me pull the market down. And now we're just going to patiently wait for this to all set up. All right, so the market, right, is now going below the blue line. Yeah, we did not get that stop entry order placed yet until the bar closed and then the indicator flipped from blue to red. Yeah, so there we go. Cool. All right, and now let's make sure that our entry is going to follow down. Yep, there we go. There's our entry following down, or trailing down. We'll do one more, and then of course the hopes is that the market will reverse. And there we go. All right, and filled. So, and also I just want to point out that I set this up as a stop order. So you may want to use a stop limit order, right? But of course, stop limit orders are not guaranteed to be filled. So, yeah, so there you go. So you do have your choice between a stop, which would be a stop market, or a stop limit, right? So I set this up using a stop market there. Okay, so there we have it.